Well, my friends. It seems the Korean peninsula is heating up faster than a pan of kimchi fried rice left on the stove. South Korea's demanding North Korea pull its troops out of Russia quicker than you can say demilitarized zone. But let's be honest, asking Kim Jong-un to play nice is like expecting a cat to fetch. It's just not in their nature. South Korea's National Intelligence Service dropped a bombshell hotter than a freshly launched missile, revealing that not just 1,500 North Korean special forces have already moonwalked their way into Russia, but a potential surge to 12,000 troops is on the horizon. That's enough to populate a small city or stage a mediocre K-pop concert. These troops are so special. They can fight a war and build a nuclear reactor simultaneously. Talk about multitasking. President Yoon Suk-yeol, in a moment of geopolitical brilliance that would make even the most seasoned diplomats scratch their heads, quipped, "The security of the Indo-Pacific and Atlantic regions are as intertwined as a bowl of bibimbap." Brilliant, Mr. President. Apparently, geopolitics is now a fusion cuisine. Who knew we'd be serving up a hot bowl of nuclear tension with a side of Ukrainian borscht? But let's not forget the real star of this show, good old Vladimir Putin. He's collecting allies like they're rare Pokemon cards, and he's just caught himself a shiny North Korea. I wonder if he knows they don't come with a return policy. Russia claims their cooperation with North Korea isn't aimed at South Korea. And I'm sure the fox isn't eyeing the henhouse, it's just admiring the architecture. Meanwhile, South Korea's contemplating sending its own troops to Ukraine, because nothing says we're not involved, like flying halfway across the world to join a war. It's like a high-stakes game of Red Rover, but with actual lives at stake. This whole situation is like a game of Risk, except the dice are loaded, the players are paranoid, and someone's dog ate half the pieces. Speaking of high stakes, the G7 nations have decided to make it rain on Ukraine, approving a $50 billion loan package. That's more zeros than I've had hot dinners. It's like winning the lottery, except instead of a yacht, you get anti-tank missiles. Talk about a shopping spree. The UK's chipping in $2.26 billion from frozen Russian assets. It's financial cryogenics. Freeze now, thaw later for maximum impact. Talk about giving Putin the cold shoulder. But let's not forget the real victims here. The UN Security Council resolutions. They're being violated more often than the please don't feed the animals sign at the zoo. North Korea's missile program is like a rebellious teenager. No matter how many times you tell it no, it just keeps pushing the boundaries. At this point, UN resolutions are more like UN suggestions. Maybe we should print them on softer paper. The Russian ambassador got a stern talking to from South Korean officials. I'm sure he's quaking in his fur-lined boots. Nothing says "we mean business" like a strongly worded conversation over tea. Countries are swapping allies faster than teenagers swap Snapchat streaks. It's geopolitical musical chairs. And someone's about to lose their seat. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ron, how does this affect me? Well, my friends, if you've got stocks in South Korean defense companies, you might want to hold on to them tighter than a seagull with a chip. The defense industry is booming faster than a K-pop star's Instagram following. Who knew World War III would be sponsored by Samsung and LG? With all this military spending, who needs a functioning economy anyway? I hear bunkers are the hot new real estate trend. If North Korea gains advanced military tech from Russia, it'll be like giving a toddler a flamethrower. What could possibly go wrong? The Korean peninsula's been a powder keg for decades. Now it's a powder keg with a lit fuse, doused in kerosene, sitting on a pile of fireworks. North Korea's playing four-dimensional chess while the rest of us are still figuring out checkers. Plot twist, the chess pieces are nuclear warheads. Let's not forget the historical context, shall we? The Korean War may have ended in 1953, but apparently someone forgot to tell Kim Jong-un. He's treating the armistice like a particularly stubborn stain. No matter how much he scrubs, it just won't go away. And now, with this Russian collaboration, it's like he's found a new brand of bleach. Will it work, or will it just leave a bigger mess? Only time will tell, my friends. The potential for North Korean troops in Ukraine is about as welcome as a porcupine in a balloon factory. It's not just about the extra manpower, it's the message it sends. It's like North Korea is saying, hey world, we're not just a regional threat anymore, we're going global. It's the geopolitical equivalent of a small-town band suddenly booking a world tour. Break out the missile-shaped merchandise. And let's talk about those UN sanctions, shall we? They're about as effective as a chocolate teapot in the Sahara. North Korea's been under more sanctions than a naughty schoolboy. Yet here they are, flexing their military muscles on the world stage. It's like they found a loophole in the no military exports rule. Apparently, it doesn't apply if you export the entire military. South Korea, meanwhile, is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Or should I say, between a nuclear-armed dictatorship and a global superpower with a penchant for land grabbing. They're like the responsible sibling trying to keep the family together, while the problematic brother runs off to join a cult. And now they're considering sending troops to Ukraine? It's like trying to put out a house fire by throwing yourself into the flames. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. The economic implications of all this are enough to make an economist's head spin faster than a North Korean centrifuge. South Korea's defense industry is set to make more money than a Vegas casino on fight night. But at what cost? It's like they're trying to build a fortress with their GDP. Sure, you'll be safe, but can you eat tanks? And let's not forget the potential for technological exchange between Russia and North Korea. It's like the world's most terrifying science fair. And here we have Kim Jong-un's latest project, a potato clock that can also launch ICBMs. I'm sure that will go down well at the next UN meeting. So there you have it, folks. The world's gone madder than a box of frogs, and we're all just along for the ride. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a bumpy apocalypse. If you're as baffled by this geopolitical chess game as I am, hit that subscribe button. Misery loves company, and we've got front row seats to the apocalypse.